I'm absolutely shocked at what I recently discovered. There's a common habit, one millions of people do every single day, that can increase your risk of a stroke literally overnight. And what's worse, most seniors and even younger adults have no idea. It's silently harming their brain health. You might be doing it too. And if you're over 50, the risk multiplies. Before we dive in, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more life-saving medical insights, and share this video with anyone you care about. This might just prevent a stroke in someone's life, maybe even your own. Part 1. Story. A patient's case that changed everything. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, a 68-year-old man walked into my clinic. Let's call him George. Retired, fairly active, not overweight, didn't smoke. He lived a calm life. No family history of stroke. And yet, one night, his wife found him slurring his words, unable to move the right side of his body. A massive ischemic stroke. Why? His cholesterol was okay. His blood pressure had been a little high, but not alarming. But after a deep dive into his daily habits, I discovered something disturbing and, frankly, shocking. George had a routine. Every night, after dinner, he'd watch a bit of TV, and then he'd bring a snack into the bedroom. Nothing crazy, sometimes just chips or a little sugary dessert. But he'd eat late and go straight to sleep. Every single night. Turns out, this one habit, late-night eating, especially foods high in sugar or salt, was spiking his nighttime blood pressure and triggering silent inflammation throughout his arteries. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Part 2. Understanding strokes. Before we go further, let's understand what a stroke actually is. A stroke happens when the blood flow to a part of the brain is interrupted. It's either because a clot blocks, a vessel, called an ischemic stroke, or a vessel bursts, called a hemorrhagic stroke. The brain cells start dying within minutes. That's why strokes are so dangerous, and time is everything. Now, you might ask, what causes these clots or vessel ruptures in the first place? The usual suspects are high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, sedentary lifestyle, poor diet, age. But recent studies, and what I've seen in my own neurology practice, reveal there's another layer, a hidden risk factor that accelerates all of the above. Part 3. The hidden habit, sleep and stroke link. Let's return to George. His nightly habit of snacking, staying up late, and not getting restorative sleep wasn't just a personal quirk. It was a ticking time bomb. The real villain? Poor sleep quality. And more specifically, sleeping late, sleeping irregularly, or sleeping less than 6 hours a night. Part 4. Why this habit is deadly for seniors. Now, why is this especially dangerous for seniors? As we age, the brain becomes more vulnerable. The arteries that supply it get thinner, weaker, and more fragile. The body loses its ability to self-regulate blood pressure and sugar during sleep. So if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, and you're not sleeping well, especially if you're staying up late or eating close to bedtime, you're creating the perfect storm for a cerebrovascular disaster. Here's the pattern I see far too often in my elderly patients. They nap during the day, stay up late watching TV or scrolling, snack late at night, usually on sugary or salty snacks, sleep poorly or wake up often, wake up tired and foggy. This pattern isn't harmless. It's not just how they are. It's dangerous. Part 5. The science behind the damage. Let's get nerdy for a moment. Here's what's happening in the brain when you sleep poorly. Impaired lymphatic drainage. During deep sleep, the brain clears out toxins, including beta amyloid and tau proteins, which are linked to Alzheimer's. If you're not sleeping deeply enough, this detox doesn't happen. Disrupted autonomic nervous system. Poor sleep keeps your sympathetic nervous system, the stress side, active. This raises blood pressure at night, instead of letting it fall, which is what it's supposed to do. Pro-inflammatory cascade. Lack of sleep increases inflammatory cytokines in the bloodstream. These damage the lining of blood vessels, the endothelium, increasing clot risk. Increased platelet aggregation. This makes your blood more sticky, raising the likelihood of clot formation, which can block arteries in the brain. All of this can happen without any warning signs. You wake up one day, and your entire life is changed by a stroke. Part 6. Other habits that increase stroke risk overnight. Let's widen the lens. Late-night eating and poor sleep aren't the only dangerous habits that can raise stroke risk overnight. Here are a few others that I see often in my senior patients. Dehydration before bed. Many seniors stop drinking fluids early to avoid nighttime urination. But dehydration thickens the blood, increasing clot risk. Alcohol in the evening. Even small amounts can disrupt REM sleep and raise nighttime blood pressure. Sleeping in a recliner or poor sleep posture. This restricts circulation and can impair oxygenation to the brain. Sleeping with the TV on or bright lights. Artificial light during sleep affects melatonin, cortisol rhythms, and the brain's recovery cycle. Failing to take blood pressure meds at night, if prescribed. For some people, evening dosing is more effective. Skipping it can cause overnight blood pressure spikes. Part 7. Signs you might be at risk, even if you feel fine. You may feel okay, but here are warning signs your nightly habits might be hurting your brain. You wake up groggy despite 7+ hours in bed. You snore loudly or wake up gasping. You often wake to pee 2+ times a night. You get headaches in the morning. You nap excessively during the day. You feel dizzy or off balance often. Your memory feels a little worse lately. These are red flags. If this sounds like you, please take action now. Part 8. What to do. Stroke prevention habits for nighttime. Let me give you a neurologist's prescription. For the night, the best practices to protect your brain while you sleep. Cut off food 3 hours before bed. Let your digestion rest. Avoid salt, sugar, and heavy meals at night. Go to bed at the same time each night. Your brain thrives on rhythm. Aim for sleep by 10:30 p.m. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Less than 6 hours equals danger zone. Make your bedroom dark, cool, and quiet. Use blackout curtains, white noise machines, and lower the temperature to 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid blue light 1 hour before bed. No phones, tablets, or bright screens. Hydrate lightly. Don't go to bed parched. A few sips of water are fine. Don't overdo it. Take prescribed medications regularly. Discuss with your doctor about night dosing, especially if you're on blood pressure or heart meds. Avoid alcohol or sedatives before bed. They interfere with deep sleep and can worsen oxygen levels. Part 9. The emotional toll of stroke. What I've seen. As a brain doctor, I've seen the devastation stroke can cause. People who were independent and vibrant are suddenly unable to walk, talk, or even recognize loved ones. The hardest part? Most of these strokes were preventable, but by the time it happens, it's often too late. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be your parent, spouse, or friend. Your brain is your identity, your memories, your personality, your control over your body. Take care of it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Part 10. Wrap up and final message. So now you know that one innocent habit, poor sleep hygiene, especially combined with late night eating, can silently raise your stroke risk overnight. But knowledge is power. Make the change tonight, not tomorrow. Because your brain deserves deep rest, clean arteries, and protection. And now it's your turn. If you found this helpful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your loved ones. There are millions of people out there who have no idea that their nightly routine could end in a stroke. You might just save a life by sharing this. Stay sharp, sleep well, protect your brain, and I'll see you in the next video.